The Cat's Library. I'll be your librarian today. I put out a poll on my channel, partially to see if there were any people who don't know me who watch my videos. And it was 100% unanimous that people like these animal videos. Engage speed paint! These are eastern grey kangaroos. They are native to eastern Australia. Kangaroos are a famous example of marsupials, which is a category of mammal which is commonly associated with Australia, but also exists in Central and South America in the form of possums. A marsupial gives birth to underdeveloped young and then carries them in a pouch throughout their infancy. The pouch functions as an external womb, and it is also where the newborns go for milk. All marsupial young are called joeys. They will return to the pouch to sleep and to escape danger after they are developed enough to leave. I would assume that the one in the photograph would be an example of this. Wikipedia says that this species is the most commonly seen since the eastern grey kangaroo lives closer to the coast, and most people in Australia live along the coastline. I wasn't aware of all the different subspecies, though I am not altogether surprised. I just chose what I thought was the prettiest photograph that was in the public domain and had a clear shot of the animal, which also wasn't in profile since the last two videos in this series have my subject in profile. I guess that these kangaroos are in a park or someone's fancy backyard, but I don't know for sure because the information under the photograph just said that it was taken in central Queensland. Kangaroos prefer grassland, though they can live in coastland, forest, and scrubs. I do not know what a scrub is. I'm guessing mostly deserty, except it has a bunch of twigs and scraggly bushes. Kangaroos are nocturnal and crepuscular, which are some of my favorite types of animal. Unlike some other animals in this series, there are too many kangaroos than the world knows what to do with. They eat grass. Wikipedia just said that they have an overgrazing problem. It doesn't necessarily say if they like to eat anything else. This other website I found said that kangaroos eat grasses, herbs, and shrubs. I realized that I don't know what kangaroos sound like, and I found a YouTube video of what they sound like, but I couldn't find any public domain material to share with you guys. Apparently they chirp, bark, growl, and scream. As of writing the script, this drawing took 6 hours and 36 minutes. I went into the process expecting it to take 3 hours for some reason, but I chose a photograph with a somewhat complicated background and a dappled lighting effect that I've never done before. This was my first picture that I drew for the series with two animals, which wasn't as difficult as you would think since the joey is partially behind the one rock and is nearly entirely in shadow. Unlike the full-grown kangaroo, which has shadow and highlights in a dappled pattern. I like drawing things that are colorful, and a lot of this picture was browns, beiges, and grays, which got boring after a while, but it was still good practice in having dynamic color values, which is something this series is supposed to help me with. Kangaroos have that coarse, short fur that I've been having difficulty with. There are several times throughout the process where I got it looking nice, but at the expense of the color saturation or the dappled lighting effect. I really should have looked up how to do that instead of going straight from the reference. Drawing from photographs is helpful, but there are also certain techniques that you can learn from different artists on how to get a particular effect. I used a lot of default Photoshop pencil brushes in order to get texture into the piece. In this one, we have pavement, rock, that bark mulch dirt stuff, leaves, sticks, and fur. In case you didn't notice, I spent a lot of time on the background and environment for this one. I sketched out the background as well as the central character instead of drawing in the background freehand at the end. When it came to translating the composition of the original photograph, I think I did a really good job. I'm not sure if the rendering turned out as good as it could be, but out of all of the backgrounds that I've done, this is in the running for one of my best. Part of this is because there were different layers to the background, such as leaves really far back that are darker and leaves closer that are lighter, and leaves that are even closer which are darker again. There is an overlap of the trees, dirt, rocks, and leaves that has a different order throughout the environment. So for the first time since the armadillo video, I found a short story by Rudyard Kipling. As always, I'm going to try to paraphrase the stories in my own words. I'm sort of sad about that this time because the original story has this sing-songy poetic quality to it. The title is literally The Sing-Song of Old Man Kangaroo, and I don't really know how to interpret that without retreading what is already said and to making it original. I'm gonna try my best anyway. The kangaroo was a proud creature a very, very long time ago. He had short legs and a short tail. Kangaroo went to the little god Nkwa and the middle god Nkwing and asked them to make him different from all other animals before 5 o'clock. Nkwa from his sand fleck and Nkwing from his burrow both shouted at Kangaroo to go away. He was not deterred and went to the big god Nkwang. This time he asked to be different from every other animal and to be greatly sought after. Nkwang said yes. He was taking a bath in a salt pan. Nkwang woke up the dingo, who was just a regular dingo, and he told him that the kangaroo wanted to be sought after. Dingo understood what that meant and chased after the kangaroo, who ran for his life. He ran through trees, beach, meadows, mountains, rivers, and jungles. His legs started to hurt, but he kept going. Dingo ran just as hard after him, slowly getting more and more tired and more hungry. They came to the same general area where they started, but Kangaroo, who was up ahead, came upon a river, the Wolong River, which was too wide to forge. He leaned back on his back legs and jumped. He kept jumping on his back legs and folded his front legs to his chest. Kangaroo's legs stretched out with each bound. Still, Dingo ran. They only stopped when they ran into Nkwang again. "It is now 5 o'clock, Nkwang said. The two animals sat down to catch their breath. Nkwang went back to his soak, content that he had helped, or at least taught them a lesson. Kangaroo did not thank Dingo for helping him become different from all other animals. Neither the dingo nor the kangaroo had much to eat that day. They each blamed each other for their current situation. And that's the end of the video. I was thinking of trying to get 2 of these animal videos out this week since I'm starting to get behind on my deadline to get to the Z animal by the end of the year. And we all know how that turned out. I'm going to choose an L animal that is less complicated with a less complicated background, which might help. I also want to try some rough animation for All's Fair and Cat Treats in War. The story for that is pretty simple because I've never animated before and I wanted something simple and short to start out with. The full rough animation will likely be a bit longer than the storyboard. I also want to do a video where I redraw one of my old artworks, but from when I was much younger than just a year ago. If you're in the future, you'll know which one I chose. Like, comment, subscribe. Thank you for 20 subscribers, by the way. Share either by the literal share icon or by texting or emailing it to somebody else. If you share videos by talking to people, teach me your ways. Bye for now.